Man, what did I say a few weeks back? That he needs to run. He needs to run far and wide. Granted, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I also am like, damn, they kind of got me connected here. But this is why you don't stick it in crazy. Like, seriously, everyone, people like him be getting the wrong idea. They're like, oh, we hear about all the wild rides you can have with the crazy biatch. No, just go find someone with daddy issues. God damn, like, this girl gonna kill you, man. Like, she is sick and twisted. She needs therapy, if not Jesus. And I'm not even a religious man, but goddamn, I'm about to go get me some Jesus to avoid this type of plague. This was one hell of a Dark Gathering episode. You have to hand it to the show. It constantly decides to just reinvent the wheel on how like a ghost story style series would be, because it takes from all areas of our own world and just explores it in such a thoroughly disturbing way. And the dynamic between the Central Three is just absolutely remarkable. I mean, it's horrifying, but it's remarkable. I do have a full live reaction to episode 6 of Dark Gathering available on my Patreon. If you would like to see my full uncut thoughts, it is over there if you're interested. We got a lot to discuss. The first thing I want to discuss actually is the I love you scene, because here's the thing, even prior to Eiko dropping the I love you after she gets saved, like just the way she explains her fascination for the supernatural, but also her compassion towards Keitarou. It's so interesting because we know of that room scene of her in her little photo booth and all her psycho messages and imagery. But the way she explains it to Keitarou is technically the truth, but it's so one-sided. Like, from our perspective, we like, no bro, this is way more twisted than she's letting on, but it's understandable how he would take it as pretty kind and compassionate. Yeah, she likes the supernatural, but she doesn't seem like she has too many screws loose. She just likes to be spooked. I mean, plenty of us do. That's why we watch horror movies, right? So the idea of like when that I love you comes in, it's like, man, it's weird because it's like, it's wholesome, it's cute, but like, you know it's gonna be bad. And when you see, anytime you see her with like, you can't see her eyes, like they put a shadow over her face, you know we about to get that psycho crazy energy. And man, the tongue lick, it just, I was like, no bro, you don't know. Like the fact that she's like, I got you now, there's no running, no restraining order, nothing you can do. Unless she finds inner peace, she is too down bad for the bad scenarios, and I don't think he'll be able to escape it. And just, it's weird. Like, they got me with the intro of this episode. They had that dramatic sound effect, like, oh man, why is she psycho? Only to 2 seconds later show it's just for a picture. And like, you knew, like, that wasn't just simple bait. Like, they were gonna show us something crazy like that. And lo and behold, they did just that. So this week, we don't deal with a singular spirit, we deal with 10. And it's this like person jumping off a bridge, and she sees it, he doesn't, and then it ends up basically having her try to jump off the bridge. And the way they deal with victory here was really cool. A couple of things I scratched my head on because, okay, so we had this like, this rope that we got from a shrine apparently, so some holy rope, that's nice. It's not like it was a bungee cord that was bouncy, like that probably would have snapped his spine, I'm pretty sure, but you know what? I'll suspend my sense of disbelief because he got to survive a fall that normally would have killed him. So the first couple were cool, but it was kind of like what you expect. Like, okay, we torture the spirit so it tries to run off and rips itself, and then we capture it. But where it got really messed up is how they just continue to play with my favorite aspect about this show, and that's our girl Yayoi and how she can feel so old, like wholesome and innocent, but damn does she freak me out. Like, she's legit the scariest part of the show. The way she can torture and threaten, and the idea of like having them all in this like circle, and then she starts, like before that, she was stabbing them in the head, being like, if you don't want them to suffer, then come on over. And then when they are in the circle, she's like, I don't like liars, and starts stabbing. Like, she is completely fine torturing and just hurting spirits. And it's weird because, you know, moments prior, you're like, damn, let's hope we kill these spirits. I don't like these spirits. And then you start feeling bad for them. They really get you to connect to so many different emotions over such a short amount of time. And by skipping the opening and ending and just letting us get thrown into this insane episode, they really delivered not only a 10 out of 10 Dark Gathering episode, but one of the best we've seen so far, because it really doesn't rehash or reuse the same ideas. From phone booths to sellers with dolls to everything we're seeing, it just is like, damn, they know how to constantly throw new and interesting ideas, because it helps that they take real world locations or real ghost stories from our own world and really make it feel bigger than just, ooh, here's the spook of the week. No, it's like, this world, it feels alive, and that's why I would not be camping out in the middle of the night, but that's just me. I think my biggest praise I can give this show is actually the vocal casting that they did for Yayoi, because when you listen to her talk, a majority of the time she's not creepy, right? She's just a little girl who seems fairly normal, but yeah, maybe has a couple of screws loose, but you don't look at her as a psycho. The way her VA can go from completely menacing, like she's going to torture you into submission, to feeling bone-chillingly ominous, to then just feeling nice. Like, this is one of the best casted characters of this anime season, potentially even this anime year, in my opinion. It works all the time, and I love how the animation for her, she has so many little mannerisms of the way she walks around or jumps and moves. She just feels, on one hand, like a very interesting kid, but then on the other hand, the most psycho energy you're going to see any anime week. And I love what they're doing with her character, and the trio overall. It's very interesting, and something I complimented initially when Yayoi went into like the shrine by herself and then Eiko had to drag Keitarou back. He dipped from this group, right? And his reason for coming back, and most importantly, his reason by the end of episode 6 for saying, I will help you, it doesn't feel rushed, and it makes sense. It's not like he's just like, oh, I'm scared of spirits, but in Scooby-Doo fashion, I'm gonna stick by this as my job. No. He tried to dip, and when he realized that someone was trying to do something for him to help him, he came to help her, and over the next couple of episodes, he accepted that he wants to do something for Eiko, he wants to heal her, he wants to be with her because he loves her, and most importantly, he's grown to really appreciate this little girl as well. And ultimately, his transition from, I still don't like this, I think you guys are crazy, but I care about both of you, and I want to keep you guys safe, and most importantly, cure this bullshit, both get your parents' spirit back, but also cure our arms. It's very realistic for why he is now accepting this. He's not gonna like it, he's not gonna change overnight, but it makes sense, and that's something you can't normally complement with a horror or thriller anime, where the main character usually just continues to be a part of these moments because he's the MC, and without him, the story wouldn't continue. But here, it's like, no, I feel Keitarou. I see his train of thought, and I feel like most of us would get roped in similar because we would have this emotional connection that we don't see the bigger picture, especially how psycho our seemingly love interest is. I love Dark Gathering. I think my passion for this is probably easy to tell. I mean, every week I'm just having a blast. Honestly, Dark Gathering is my most anticipated watch every Sunday, and I love all 3 shows I'm covering, don't get it twisted. I think they're all fantastic and perfect at what they do. But I know Dark Gathering is going to show me something I truly haven't seen in the horror genre before, and it makes me spooked, it makes me fearful, it makes me on edge. And even when I think I see things coming, like at the beginning, I'm like, yep, she's gonna go twisted by the end of the episode, it still manages to find new ways. And the creative ways they deal with the spirits, like the sake, in order to like force the spirit back up and spit it right on the stuffed animal, it's like, it's clever with how they hunt these spirits, you can't deny that. But let me know what you thought down below. We are 6 episodes in. I'm so happy it's a 2-core, but let me know what you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell, of course. And like I mentioned, we do have a full live reaction to today's wonderful episode available on my Patreon, and while you're there, you also get a video shout out. So today we have Leslie Davis, Raj Vermullins, Randomly, Hermes Hemp, Enderwolf, and Destiny Richards. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.